What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Slaughta POD. Right here, we're going to do the Book of Slaughta, Chapter 2 today. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my latest music video. This one right here is called Ain't It, Man? They mad because a nigga shit hot. Ain't it, man? Got a drip like a nigga sell blocks. Ain't it, man? On my tip. Anyway, y'all, happy Thursday. Today, y'all, we're going to go ahead and pick back up right after this video on the Book of cause a nigga shit hot, ain't it, man? Got a drip like a nigga sell blocks, ain't it, man? She on my tip cause a nigga on top, ain't it, man? They hope I slip, but I got it on lock, ain't it, man? I wake up to break up these niggas from the bullshit. When I'm in the booth, the niggas spitting from the pulpit. They calling me the truth, wait till they hear my new shit. I'm on these niggas' necks like the locks on Dipset. Pull up on your block, no top, with my paint wet. My nigga T-Stack just handed me a blank check. Now people think I made it, ain't even did my thing yet. They feeling nigga shit, but they don't even know my name yet. Slaughta made the game, bro, fighting for a game check. You ain't talking money, nigga, I'ma need a rain check. Think we on the same thing, you need to get your brain checked. Your bitch on a nigga dick and I ain't even dang yet. My voice get her moist, yeah, keep a little thing wet. If she bring a best friend, I might entertain that. Slide between her pretty thighs, straight rearrange her. Tell her ass pretty lies and leave her little brain wet. Mad cause a nigga shit hot, ain't it, man? Got a drip like a nigga sell blocks, ain't it, man? She on my tip cause a nigga on top, ain't it, man? They hope I slip, but I got it on lock, ain't it, man?
Mad cause a nigga be the done. Loaded gun, pocket full of 100 buns. Diamond shining on the nigga like the sun. TNT bout to blow up like a bomb. Pulling up in that foreign, state to state, I'm torn. Dollar for dollar, chasing paper, yeah, you know where I'm going. I'm popping tops and blowing, nothing but skills I'm showing. I was the one they ignoring, now my little light start glowing. I'm doing shows and features, never kick it with leeches. I lead them haters side down and looking up from the bleachers, cause real players gon' bow. I'm the one they gon' call when they start looking for the real. They get tired of y'all, ain't no way I'ma foul. Gotta stay on my feet, put T-stacks on the beat. I'ma bring that heat, just kick back in your seat. Let my game unfold, put 20,000 in the soul. Try to go get no gold, too much paper to fold. Know this outside hole, I'm steady vibing in the mix. I got it under control. Pulling off in that candy trunk, bang, and screams rain. Deep wood, the throw the snow, I'm coming down, ain't it, man?
They mad cause a nigga shit hot, ain't it, man? Got a drip like a nigga sell blocks, ain't it, man? She on my tip cause a nigga on top, ain't it, man? They hope I slip, but I got it on lock, ain't it, man?
You mad cause a nigga be the done.
Ain't it, man?
Loaded gun, pocket full of 100 buns.
Ain't it, man?
Diamond shining on the nigga like the sun.
Ain't it, man?
TNT bout to blow up like a bomb.
Ain't it, man? Hell, ain't it, man? So welcome to the Book of Slaughta, Chapter 2. Thank y'all for tuning in. For those who did tune in last week, I'm going to go ahead and pick back up. All of a sudden, I went out in my headphones. I can't hear myself all of a sudden. Mic check, mic checker. There we go. Okay. So anyway, so last week on the Book of Slaughta, I went over 3 key members in my family, 3 people that really, really had a major impact in my life. My father, Duke Walker, my grandmother, Maddie Knighton, a.k.a. Mad Dog Maddie, and my cousin, Landry Donnell Jenkins, King Lad DJ. So thank y'all for tuning on. Melinda, baby, I see you logged on. Hopefully I'm looking kind of fly this morning. Got the nice little Timberland shirt you got for me. Check it out. Can y'all see it? Damn. Pretty dope, yeah. My baby keep me pretty fly. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead. A lot of people, they know that my father was killed while he had a shotgun in his hand, and I didn't really expound. So basically, once he shot the lady's husband, for those who didn't tune on last week, like, what the hell? But anyway, I can't go back to the whole story because this is Chapter 2. But I will end on Chapter 1. So just to explain a little bit, there was no really ninja-style movement. She didn't turn 2 backflips and throw the knife into him. Basically, my father shot a lady's husband. Boom, blew his stomach out. She just simply pulled a butcher knife and stabbed him in his carotid artery right there 1 or 2 times. He don't even know. I don't even think he realized what happened. They ran out of the bar. Nobody knew what happened. He collapsed dead. Next day, they were like, people don't know what happened. The lady was like, I know what happened. He shot my husband and I stabbed him in his neck. But they didn't know that my father went and they drug him into the ditch, my uncles and his homeboy Shaky Red, and hid his body. So people just know that my father disappeared. The lady found out later that the wounds that she inflicted on my father was fatal. And she was, protecting her man, It's an unfortunate situation, but if a man was ever to shoot me, I would hope like hell my woman would have enough skill to pull out a knife and kill him while he holds the gun. That's kind of a pretty amazing story again. So with Mad Dog Matty, one thing that did pop in my mind, I told y'all that my grandmother was convicted of murder twice. But just some of the stories my mother told me, how they were raised and the stuff that they seen. And my mother, on her deathbed, she was kind of apologetic to me that she didn't do more as a parent. And I had to remind my mother that there's no manual to how to raise a kid. And a woman raising a man, that's just pretty much a uphill battle. I can't say it can't be done, but it takes a special kind of woman to be able to raise a man, a successful man, to, still instill certain qualities in him that just, and if a woman can't do it, it's not her fault. That was really not her role to begin with. But, hats off to the mothers that, even without a father, still bring up real men in this world. Salute to you. But some of the things my mother and her sister, Creola Jenkins, my aunt, that they endured, I couldn't imagine. They said it was common practice for my grandmother, Mad Dog Matty, to come in with blood just pouring out of her head from fighting. Common practice. She would stagger in any given day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, drunk with blood pouring out her head, and they would have to, mend her up and tend to her. Another thing that I remember my mother telling me is that any given night of the week or any given school day, they wake up to go to school, and my grandmother might be in the living room ass naked with some strange man, both of them completely naked, passed out drunk on the floor. The next night, it might be another guy, my grandmother. The next night, so, my mother and my aunt, they always had real big trust issues. To me, they were overly suspicious. Then I got older and I thought about something. Why was my mother and my aunt always so suspicious of everybody? Why was they always so wary of people? Then that spiritual insight, some things you figure out without being there. I started wondering, when my grandmother would bring these men home when they would be drunk and my grandmother would pass out, how often did these guys stay asleep? How often did these guys wake up and realize, hey, she's got 2 teenage daughters in there. She's passed out drunk. So there's no telling what my mother and my aunt had to endure, living like that. But like I say, salute, hat off to my mom. Dear mama, I never seen her in jail. My mother was never arrested one time. She worked, moved to Dallas with 4 kids with like $90 and made it. So, big shouts out to my mother. So that's pretty much it about Mad Dog Matty, my grandmother who was convicted of murder twice in her lifetime. Just amazing that, but everyone, believe it or not, I've heard of stories of people's family even more fucked up and dysfunctional than mine. From what I've been told, we all got dysfunction in our family. Some people hide it better. Some people hide it better than others, but we all do. So back to my cousin Landry, Lad DJ. That's the cousin of mine, my best friend, my first cousin. He had a history of playing with guns until he ultimately died when me and him was both playing with a shotgun on New Year's Eve, 89. Before Landry died, for about the last year of his life, he was very protective of me and my future. No matter what they were getting ready to do, if they was getting ready to go do a drive-by, let's not take my cousin, he's got a future. If he was gonna be in the car where a dude was street racing and I was in the car, my cousin would literally say, hey, let's go drop my cousin off and then you can open this bad boy up. We can crash and burn, but let's go drop my cousin off because he's got a future. Now, mind you, me and my cousin at this time are both 16, getting ready to be 17, because he died at 17. And we were 2 months apart. But my cousin just knew that he was not going to be here, and I was. He was constantly protecting me at 17, and we both the same age. But I will tell you that I do believe in a shadow of death being on someone. Before my cousin Landry died, I had a premonition. Something told me that he was no longer going to be here. Marvin, I don't know if y'all remember OG Marvin used to work at Kroger. May he rest in peace. Old school cat back in Grand Prairie, the Kroger off of 303. He was real cool. Used to smoke with us and stuff like that. But anyway, Marvin said that he saw Landry one day at the store, doing what they do. They would, watch each other's back while they kind of, got discounts on shit. So he said that he just seen Landry one day, getting some Murray's grease. Y'all remember that Murray's wave grease? I used to have waves, believe it or not. Those were many moons ago. But yeah, he saw Landry getting some grease, and he said something in the spirit said that dude is fixing to die. And Landry knew. Landry told me that, before Landry passed away, he told me, he said, Rod, I've been thinking about death a lot lately. And he said, it's between me and you. One of us is getting ready to die. And I could tell he was dead serious. And I remember he got kind of sad and looked at the floor, and he said, it's going to be you. It's not going to be me. And then he looked down again, real deep in thought. So before Landry died, he had a premonition saying that, he knew he was going to die soon. He told his girlfriend, Rachel, that he was with at the time. He explained to me what he wanted to be buried in. So anyway, so death does come, destruction, warning does come before destruction. I do believe in that. Again, I don't know if y'all remember last week, but my father knew he was getting ready to die. He walked around telling people a man knows when he's going to die, and my time is coming. And it came. But I was telling y'all last week how Landry would keep us into some shit. He would have me fighting when I was literally trying to break it up. He would have me in the fights that I wanted no part of, but I would get sucked right into it. So one of the fights I remember, I'll go from, to me, the most entertaining fights. I'll start from the least to the strongest. There was one time Landry's Regal stopped. He had this Regal. He used to love little blue Regal. Nice 1980 Regal. It stopped in the middle of the street. And it's me. I don't know if y'all remember Tony Washington, Tony Davis, same person. They used to call him Freddy Krueger. He ended up, getting on that dope. Hope he kicked that habit. He was stuck for a long time on that crack. But before he became a dope fiend, that little dude saved me. He was a game dog many times. When we was outnumbered fighting somebody bigger, Lil Tony, people used to pick on that dude. They used to bully him. They used to call him Freddy Krueger. He looked like a black Freddy Krueger. Was no ladies' man, but he had the gift of gab. He would work his way in some stuff. He got us all chicks sometimes just from running his mouth. He had a mouthpiece. But anyway, so one time Landry's Regal stopped right in the middle of the street. And these three white dudes, mind you, we were 16 at the time. These three grown white dudes are driving in a truck. They're all in the front seat of a truck. And this one real big white dude screamed, "Get that piece of shit out of the street." And Landry, like I say, he would start fights. He would participate in fights. He was just a fighter. If somebody else wanted it, he would run at it. So the dude screams out the window, "Get that piece of shit out the street," because Landry's Regal stopped. Landry's already upset because his Regal stopped. That was his baby. So, of course, simultaneously, we all scream, "Fuck you," and they stop. Boom. They back up, and we noticed the white dude closest to the one sitting on the passenger side, the one who screamed, "Get that piece of shit out of the car, get that piece of shit out of the street." We can tell by sitting down that he is just ginormous. Sitting in the truck, his arm is bigger than all three of ours put together. Sitting down in the truck, he's still taller than all of us. You can tell when he stand up, he's gonna be a big boy. So we talking shit. The dude goes to open the truck door to get out. Tony, aka Freddy Krueger, kicked the door closed. So the big dude tried to open the door again to get out. and Tony keeps kicking it shut. Like, he don't have a plan yet, but he knows one thing for sure. I'm not finna let this 6'6", 6'8", 300-pound dudes get out the truck. So it was kind of comical for a minute. The dude who was driving the truck is screaming, "Quit kicking my fucking truck." And everybody, me, Landry, the two dudes in the truck, we're watching this back and forth. The dude opened the door, Tony kicking shut. We're stuck watching that until the one driver realized, oh shit, we can get out on my side. Like, we watched this happen like 8 to 10 times. And then once they got out on the other side, they all piled out over there, and Tony held his position. He wasn't letting that big motherfucker get out on that side. Like, you got to come around, dude. So they all slid out of the driver's door. Landry, remember when he died that night on New Year's Eve? When he said he had a bad feeling, the one thing he said is, we're going to break that curse tonight. Landry believed his bad luck was a curse. He had very bad luck. I've always said when he died, he was probably like smirking or laughing. There was his sense of humor. Like, cuz, I told you my luck was bad. Finally make it to Club Countach, and I'm the first reported death in Dallas in '89. He used to literally joke about stuff like, my luck, hell, he would always talk about how bad his luck was. But to make a long story short, there's 3 of us and there's 3 of them. They're grown men. We 16 years old. The big dude gets out of the truck and just goes straight for Landry. The dude, no joke, is about 6'6", 6'8", and he's literally saying, John Newton, South Grand Prairie linebacker, class of 82 or something like this. And this is about 87, 88. Landry died in 89. So this is about late 87. And the dude is John Newton, South Grand Prairie linebacker, class of 82, something ginormous. He just grabbed Landry, boom, picked Landry up, and he's walking Landry out of the street into the grass. He breaks Landry down, like folds him up, and they're both on their knees in the grass. I got 2 grown men that I'm facing. I'm watching this happen with Landry. These 2 dudes are coming at me. One of the guys makes a revelation. Oh, man, these are some fucking kids, bro. He was like, man, these are kids. Because they was in their 30s. Besides the big dude, John Newton, the South Grand Prairie linebacker. I don't know if he is still alive, whatever happened with him, but somebody may know him. He was a big boy. So these 2 dudes realized that, okay, these are like some high school kids and we grown men. So the dude tell me, look here, man, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm 16. Dude like, man, I'm 32 years old, bro. As long as you don't hit me, I'm not going to put my hands on you. So by that time, I look over there and I go to help Landry, and they're like, but hey, we're not going to let you jump in. So I'm bouncing around with them like, y'all can't stop me. This dude has got my cousin, and I'm fixing to make him let my cousin go. They're like, no, don't jump in it. Then we will get involved. Before I could even debate what was going on with them, I turn around and Tony, little Tony, the smallest of us all, he runs over there and he's hitting this big dude. Pop, pop, pop. The dude releases Landry. The dude gets up, and the dude had been drinking or whatever, so the dude has this thing where he wants to fight in the grass. He don't want to fight in the street. The big dude, the big linebacker. So once he gets up from Tony hitting him 2 or 3 times, making him release him, me and the other guys, we pawing at each other. They like, man, we don't want to fight you, bro. You're a kid. You're a teenager. We're grown men. So I'm keeping them at bay, making sure they don't get involved, and they're just trying to keep all 3 of us from jumping on their part. So Tony and Landry's got the big dude, and I got these 2 dudes at bay, and we just kind of watching each other. So the dude tells Landry, no, come on, motherfucker, let's go back and fight over here in the grass. So the dude picked Landry up, walked him to one side of the street. Tony hits the dude, make the dude release Landry. So the dude is walking back to the other side of the street to go fight in the grass, saying, no, let's come over here to the grass. And as they're walking, Landry's walking beside the dude. Landry literally had to jump up. He jumps up and turns midair and hits the dude. Boom. The dude crumbles down to his knees. Boom. The dude falls over to he doesn't fall all the way down, but he falls down on his knees. And then he's on all fours, kind of dinged and kind of dazed. By that time, the Grand Prairie cop pull up. Amazingly, back then, the only black Grand Prairie cop I had ever seen on the force, a black police officer happened to pull up. and there was never any black cops that I'd ever seen back then. And now this dude is shaking it off that Landry done, knocked him out. And he is just going nigger crazy. Nigger, come on, blah, 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 and screaming, kept screaming nigger. Anyway, the cop took him to jail. The two older dudes congratulated Landry for fighting the dude back and for knocking him out after Tony helped them release. But basically, they were saying all night long that this dude, John Newton, was trying to start fights with everybody. He couldn't hold his drink. He was a big bully. And they said prior to him fucking with us, he had tried to get out the truck and fight like 4 or 5 more people. And it just comes to find out they stumbled on the 3 teenagers, and he ended up, getting his ass brought to him. So shout out to Tony. Hope you finally got off that dope. I really do. Not trying to be funny. But you was a true soldier before you started smoking. He went to the Marine Corps and came back from the East Coast with a crack problem. When crack first hit, a lot of people didn't know that it was like a party drug. And I'll go into how I even started selling crack temporarily. It didn't last long. This wasn't my thing. But I was amazed when I did get into selling dope. The clientele, the type of people, the young college girls, clean-cut white kids that was buying it, professional people on the way to work. I was shocked. But I don't want to jump around. So that was one fight that I remember with John Newton. That's because he kept screaming his name. That's the only reason why I remember his name. So that's one thing. I didn't have to do much during that fight. Tony and Landry held their own, and I just kept the other 2 men at base so they didn't get in it. So the second fight, back in high school, word would travel about parties, and people would, go to attend parties. And the reason why I have to go so back to high school, because don't forget my cousin Landry, he died at 17. So had he kept living, honestly, I probably wouldn't be here right now, because he was keeping us into some progressively more and more dangerous situations. That's why he knew that I had a future. And me and him, the way he was, he would have gotten both of us a life sentence or murder. And that's just being honest. So we hear about this party that's in Trailwood for all my Grand Prairians. Y'all know about Trailwood. So back then, there was no Instagram, Facebook, word of mouth. Oh man, I know it's a party. Sometimes you'd stumble across the best party of your life. Sometimes it'd be like, oh, hey, this is just a little private party. Y'all not invited. So we ended up finding this party in Trailwood. We get the location. Somebody told somebody who told us. We can see the door open, and it's kind of festive, but it's like it's a family, not a family. It's like a group of young white teenagers sitting at a table. The music is playing, but it's not that loud. It's an intimate gathering. And me, Landry, Fabian, what up, Fabian? Fabian Douglas. You're going to be in the story some too, especially the last fight. So I forget who was, it could have been Ace, Anthony Cullins, but I know it was me, Landry, and Fabian, and probably Tony. That's right, Tony was always with us before he started smoking. Tony, I believe it was him. So we walk inside the house, and it's just awkward as fuck. You got these young white kids, they're about our age, we young too, just sitting at the table, they kind of drinking, and we just standing up over them. We just walk in their living room, and now we're in their dining room. We're standing up and they're sitting down, and it's like about 3 or 4 minutes of awkward silence. Don't nobody say nothing. We not saying nothing, they not saying nothing. We not saying, hey, we heard it was a party. We done walked in the house, and we're just standing over them while they sitting at the table drinking, and nobody's saying a word. So finally, one dude, after minutes of awkward silence, like, hey, guys, this is a private party, just, a little intimate party amongst friends. This is not open to the public, no offense, but, and I'm already like, cool, let's go. This shit is already awkward as hell, let's please go. So we getting ready to leave out of the party, and lo and behold, Landry. He whispers to me, I'm going to steal him. For those of you who don't know what I'm going to steal him mean, that means I'm going to sneak and punch him. I'm going to sucker punch him. I'm going to hit him before he's ready for it. So Landry whispers to me, I'm going to steal him. And I'm like, Landry, no, man, don't do that. Like, bro, we just walked into somebody's house. The dude is not rude. Hey, we don't know y'all. This shit is awkward. Y'all bounce and let us get back to our little intimate party. Nope. So Landry gonna make sure they don't never invite no more black people to their party. We might could have, left them with a good impression. Our apologies, bro. We out. We heard it was a party. We understand. I missed the logic back then. Like, why are we even fucking with this dude, man? Why try to hit this dude? Let's just go. Let me tell you how karma works. So the dude sees Landry whisper to me, and the dude, I remember I looked at the guy, and the dude probably seen the little exchange, me shaking my head, telling Landry not to do it. Whatever the case, the dude has really got his eye on Landry. We are getting ready to walk out the door, and Landry, being true to his word, he goes to hit the guy. Some kind of way, the guy dodges it, pulls Landry into a headlock. The other guys jump up from the table. Everybody's pouring outside right now because Landry and the dude are now fighting in the yard. Two dudes go to the back of a pickup truck, and they grab these axe handles. Thank God they don't have the blades on them. They're just the stalks of axe without the blades missing, without any blade on them at all. Pretty solid oak. So these two white dudes go grab two axe handles. Landry, he laughed about this. I didn't hear him. Landry was calling for me because the dude he tried to hit was a wrestler and had him in a chokehold. And Landry was calling my name for me to help him. And Landry thought it was so funny. The dude told him, "Fight your own battles, bitch," and kept choking him. That's what he get for trying to hit the dude for no reason. So I look up, and these two dudes are running at me and Landry and Tony with axe handles. I believe Fabian was there. And all of a sudden, I'm running towards the dude that's running towards me. Sometime again, running away from shit, I could have got hit in the head. But once I'm running at the dude that's running at me, this dude has an axe handle, and he drops it. Now, I go from telling Landry not to do this, let's just leave peacefully, to now I'm in war mode. So the dude that drops the axe handle, I pick it up and just, it's game on now. I chase him and I beat him in the back with the axe handle. The other dude with the axe handle is about to hit Tony. I beat him with the axe handle. So now we got two axe handles. Anyway, I go over and hit the dude that's choking Landry out. Boom, boom, make him get up. We drive off. One of them throw the axe handle, hit Landry's car. He wanted to go back. Like, bro, you crazy? We ain't going back. The cops will be here in a minute. While we're leaving, no exaggeration, about 5 to 6 Grand Prairie cop cars are speeding past us, not realizing we're the people that they're coming to get. We make it out of Trailwood and back to the south side of Grand Prairie without going to jail. And that was just an example of one of the times where I wanted peace, but ended up assaulting somebody because Landry getting the best of them, or there's too many involved. And many times at the blink of a hat, at the blink of an eye, you can get that warrior mode can be activated. Even though 1 minute I was being very, very rational and reasonable, once the fight started and that adrenaline rush happened and I saw people grabbing weapons, once fight or flight kicks in, you can't always back out of it. Some people might be like, well, once that happened, why didn't you continue to try to de-escalate the situation? Flight or fight kicked in and I wasn't running, so I got to scrapping. But this one here now, Fabian Douglas, you definitely in this story. Way back in the game, way back in the day, people used to kick it at 303 Mall, way back in the day. So we're hanging out at 303 Mall, like, that was the thing to do on Friday nights. Just so young and innocent, just so happy to be out. Man, I miss those days where just being outside the house was a big, big deal. Just being amongst your peers was just electric, just young and just possibilities. So we out there on a Friday night, of course, hoping we pick up a cutie or something. And here's another way that I think how karma works. Fabian was our little homie. He was younger than us. And even though he was like a little brother, Landry would pick on Fabian. He would always, give him a hard time. And just because he was our little brother, it was all out of love, but he would always pick on Fabian. So anyway, check this out. So we standing in the parking lot of 303 Mall, and people are coming out of the movies, and we're not right out of the entrance of the mall, like we're into the parking lot where a bunch of teens are hanging out at. And it's these two white kids coming out of the movie theater. One of them is seems shy and passive and reserved. And the other one is walking like he John fucking Wayne. He got the swag about him, like literally he's walking like I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. So his walk is so confident and exaggerated, people instantly start commenting on it. Like you can't help it. Like had he just been walking normal, like you'd have to see somebody literally walking like they're the baddest motherfucker walking. He had this walk where you just had to pay attention to him. So lo and behold, comments from our group started being hurled towards him. Oh, he must have just watched the Kung Fu movie. Oh, he must have just watched Terminator. You know, I don't even know if Terminator was out back then. I'm just giving examples. He must have just watched Chuck Norris. Like people started speculating what movie had he just watched to make him come out of the theater walking like he was the baddest dude breathing. And his counterpart, his little partner, was just the opposite. He didn't want to make eye contact with nobody. Looked like he was scared of his own shadow. So as we keep making comments to the dude, when I say we, the group I was with, I remember Joey Rodriguez, may he rest in peace, he was there. Landry, Fabian, I believe Robert Villegas was there, don't get me the line. But anyway, I know for sure me, Landry, and Fabian Douglas was there, and Joey Rodriguez, may he rest in peace, he was there. So the white dude, we ended up calling him John J for John J. Rambo. If y'all don't know Rambo, that was still my favorite movie, First Blood. Rambo's name was John J. Rambo, the white boy. We end up nicknaming him that. So the dude is catching on to the comments, man, you must have just watched Rambo. Man, you must have just watched, Bruce Lee. Like, man, damn, you walking like you. So the dude, if I have to guess, honestly, there might have been 9 to 10 of us, and we were all black and Hispanic, and there was at least 9 or 10 of us. I can just remember about 5 of us for sure. Junior Dominguez was there too. He was a gangster, SAE. I do remember that. So anyway, the dude catches on to all the comments we making, and it's at least 9 of us, and this dude looks at us, and he says, I bet you I will whoop every one of y'all motherfucking ass if y'all fight me one-on-one. Right now, one at a time, and I will kick all y'all ass. That dude was already walking like he was Arnold Schwarzenegger. The dude stops and tells about 9 to 10 black and Hispanic dudes, one-on-one, I will kick all y'all fucking ass. Needs, I don't have to tell you, did nobody jump at him. People kind of like, confidence is a motherfucker. Everybody looking at each other like, and Landry's normally the one to set it off, and here's where karma comes in at. Landry would always be fucking with Fabian, picking on him. So once this dude makes his stance, one-on-one, I'll kick all y'all ass. And then he even kind of looking like, that's what I thought. Like, ain't nobody stepping up. Like, nobody wants to find out exactly what this dude know, why he's so confident. So lo and behold, Fabian is looking at Landry like, Landry, you always set it off. Fabian pushes Landry into the white boy. It was like pushing Landry into a tiger or a pit bull. Soon as Fabian pushed Landry into the dude, I believe the dude pushed Landry back real hard. That's Landry shit. It's on now. Ain't no turning back. Landry steps up. This dude pulls Landry's jacket over his head. Landry is stuck with his hands over his head. He is immobile. Landry cannot use his arms. And this dude has got Landry, and he's got the jacket to where you can't pull it off. You can't take it all the way off, and you can't pull it back down over your body. Landry can't see. The dude has got his arms twisted up, and he's beating Landry in the back. Boom. Boom. Sounded like 215s or 808. He got Landry back basing. Boom. Boom. He's literally beating Landry in the back with his right hand, and he's got his jacket over his head with his left hand. In some kind of way, Landry can't get the jacket off, and he can't get out of that position. So the dude is dragging Landry. Landry's still on his feet, and he just got his back basing, beating him in his back. Joey Rodriguez runs up. True story. The dude punches Joey Rodriguez and knock him off his feet. May he rest in peace. Joey Rodriguez flies up in there and hits the ground. Somebody else run up. I don't know if it was Junior Dominguez. I forget who it was. The dude with the right hand, boop, another one down. Steady working on Landry. Whoever runs up with that free right hand, I'm not playing. He dropping him. Boom. So, and I'm really not trying to make myself the hero of the story. This is God is my witness. I wouldn't be lying on the dead because Landry's no longer here, or Joey Rodriguez. And this is one of those times where Landry can fight good, but every once in a while, starting shit goes wrong. And on this time, Landry didn't start it. Fabian pushed him into the dude. When the dude called us all out, that kind of confidence, when a cat don't run, I've seen my dog sometimes not know what to do. If the cat run, the dog gonna chase the hell out of it. If the cat don't run, sometimes the dog don't know what to do. So this one, Landry didn't start, but his reputation caught up to him. Bro, you get out there, you the fighter of the crew. Get out there and show us what you got. So the dude, Landry didn't get to do shit. The dude is just beating Landry in the back the whole time, and everybody that run up, the dude is dropping him. Boom, boom. The fight started in the middle of 303 Mall parking lot. This dude drug Landry. Landry never left his feet. The dude is just walking and beating him in his back. All the way into the mall entrance. Somebody opened the door, and the dude is pulling Landry into the mall still. He's pulling him at a fast pace. I'm jumping up. Literally, we're trying to take turns getting this dude, and he's dropping everybody. Once that door opened, I hit the dude. Landry said, I went, ugh. I remember I just ran and hit the dude. Boom. Just like a football tackle. My shoulder right in his midsection, because when he was going through the door, he had Landry at a distance. I hit the dude, and we slide across the mall floor. Literally, no joke. Not trying to add dramatics. Because someone opened the door. The dude didn't even have to open the door. Someone had opened it while he's dragging Landry, beating him. He's taking Landry into the mall. I guess where if y'all jump on me, there's security here, there's police here, they're going to see it. At this point, this dude is just kicking all our ass. He hadn't touched me at this point. But everybody else, me or somebody else couldn't quite get in. Fabian, it was too many people trying to get at him, and he was knocking him. And, it was just chaos. So I tackled the dude, and we slide across the mall floor. And while I got him down, I just three-pieced him. Boom, 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 maybe 4 times. And I see these black shiny police shoes. I jump up, run. Landry, Joey Rodriguez, and somebody else. I think it was Junior Dominguez. If you wasn't there, Junior, forgive me, it was many years ago. But anyway, they all got apprehended. The cops let them go, just some teenagers fighting at the mall. But the white dude had a red hat. And Landry kept that red hat in his trunk out of respect for that white boy. And that was supposed to be our good luck piece. That was supposed to be like if you fight a lion and you keep his tooth, if you fight a cobra and you keep his fangs. We literally kept that white boy's red hat in Landry's trunk to honor him because of what a brave warrior spirit he had. Not too many, and the dude that was with the white dude, the nerdy one, he was not even there. He was a coward. He was not going to fight. So essentially, one white dude called out 9 blacks and Hispanic dudes total, about 9 or 10 of us, said, fight me one-on-one and I'll whoop all y'all ass. Even though we elected not to fight him one-on-one, he still whooped just about all our ass, and that's a true story. And it was no shame about it. Landry just had much respect for the dude. And we could always laugh about it, win, lose, or draw. We laughed about how the dude pulled a jacket over his head and had his back basing boy. So Fabian Douglas, I don't know if you remember that. You was wrong for pushing Landry into that tiger, but you got Landry back, calm as a bitch, because he would always fuck with you. So Landry Donnell Jenkins, may you rest in peace. Again, that's my first cousin. Died January 1st, 1989. My daughter's named after him, Melandria Denise Walker. He's tatted on my right arm. One love, cuz he won a lot more than he lost, but I always, the losses stand out to you sometimes because it's like, usually there was some humor involved. If he lost, he was drinking, or he was in a dead wrong, and like when that dude told him, fight your own battles, bitch, he laughed about that so hard. So I explained to y'all how my father Duke died. and about my grandmother, Mad Dog Matty. So once Landry did die, when we had the accident on New Year's Eve '89, I went to the morgue and trimmed his hair and his mustache and beard up. I put my headphones on. Eazy-E was real big back then. NWA hadn't quite NWA hadn't quite formed a group yet. It was just Eazy, and that was me and Landry's favorite artist. We loved that new gangster rap, boy. We loved the hell out of it. So I'm bumping that Eazy-E, and I'm in the morgue, and I'm cutting my cousin's hair. I'm trimming his mustache and beard, and I would have it no other way. And another thing that a lot of people don't know, after I accidentally shot and killed Landry, 2 weeks later, me and my mother gave up our apartment and moved in with his mother because she was having such a hard time coping. 2 to 3 weeks after Landry's death, I was sleeping in his bed. I literally got a job where he was working at. And he worked at Kroger's right down the street at the time of his death. People would always say we looked alike. We didn't see it, but other strangers could definitely pick it up. You know, family don't see it like that, but anybody that didn't know us, y'all are cousins, y'all are brothers, they knew it. So once Landry died, and I cut his hair and did all of this stuff to prep him for the funeral, Landry had made it clear to me one thing, that death had been on his mind. And once he told me that, I instantly started, well, if you're gonna die, what do you want to be buried in? My red and blue Reebok sweatsuit. But he says, it might not be me, it could be you, because he said death was coming for one of us. He could sense it. He really said it like that. And I said, well, cuz if it's gonna be me that's gonna be die, or if it's me that's gonna die, we are 17 years old planning our deaths. Because when he told me death had been on his back, I believed him. And I was like, well, you know, I just felt sincere. And not only that, before he verbalized it to me, the spirit told me that he would not be there much longer, months before then. It's amazing. There's more to this life than we understand, y'all. There's spiritual principalities, there's spiritual stuff. I don't have all the answers. I don't believe any preacher or teacher does either. But there's something more to this life. I do believe the Bible is only something. I'm not Mr. Biblical, but there's other things that apply. So after Landry passes away, and I'm now essentially living his life, I'm literally sleeping in his bed. I'm working at the grocery store he was working at the time of his death. And I get this bright idea. This one lady, she was real mean and strict. And he was telling me about how mean she was. And man, but Landry, I liked he worked hard. Now, not only was he just an ass-kicking fighter, by 17 years old, he had already had, back then, me and my brothers and cousins, we didn't work. But Landry, by the time he died at 17, he had worked at Six Flags, Skaggs Alphabet, and Kroger. Dude had bought a car, a gun, had made a baby. Landry did a lot to only have been here 17 years. But to honor Landry, right after he died, I got my first job, got my driver's license, got my first car, entered my first bodybuilding contest. He died in January. By May, first job, first driver's license, first car, first bodybuilding contest. In honor of him. It just gave me some type of motivation when he died. I wanted to be a bodybuilder. Boom, I hit the stage. I did the Tommy Singer and Mr. and Mrs. Dallas Fort Worth. I had many trophies, y'all, bodybuilding and powerlifting, believe it or not. I wish I could show some of these new age trainers, but shit, moving from pillow to post, I lost all of those. Anyway, I ended up placing fourth at the teenage division. That was my first competition. So after doing the bodybuilding thing and all of that, I stayed on a pretty good, my mind was more clear. I didn't take shit for granted. I went to work every day. I didn't take many risks. And then eventually, years later, I ended up sliding into some more, drama. So then my homeboy D-Rock, what's up with you? Demetrius Henderson. So lo and behold, the 90s start to hit, and everybody is trying to make money selling dope. everybody's, making money, in the dope game. It's on every song. My homies are trying it. I got my people in Houston making life-changing money, dropping convertible cars. And so old D-Rock, anyway, we didn't get busted, so, you can't go to jail, but old D-Rock introduced me into slanging crack cocaine. So, all right, now all my rappers are saying sell crack. My homeboy D-Rock selling crack. He hanging around the hip-hop gangsters. What up, Big Ant? Rest in peace, Marcus D. So he got us this hookup. For those back in the 90s, y'all remember She Ice back in the day in Fort Worth. You go to She Ice, you don't even see the people. They got this little window. You give them $50, they hand you a $50 slab. Off that $50 piece of crack rock, it was maybe about a little bit bigger than this card. You paid $50 for a block of crack. And you could make $250 off of it depending on what time of day you sold it. At late nights, people would be desperate, and what would normally be a dime could be a 20. But I found something very interesting when I sold dope for the little period of time. First of all, in the rap songs, it didn't tell you all of the stuff about it. I thought, shit, everybody sell dope, it's cool, it ain't no problem. First thing is I got a gun pulled on me trying to sell dope in a dude's territory. I didn't even know that shit existed. Like, oh, you can only sell dope certain places? And not to skip around, but D-Rock, I hope you logged on to this. So D-Rock introduced me to selling crack, and then he joins the military. Didn't tell nobody he was going to join the military. The dude introduced me to the dope game and went off to the military and had a successful career. Thank God crack wasn't for me, because I remember when I sold to an undercover. Why didn't I go to jail? They not trying to catch you selling one dime. And once I realized what I did, and the dude had chased me off the block with a pistol in Dalworth over there for not San Antonio. That's where I ended up retreating to. But the guy right there by the park, it'll come to me. But anyway, the dude ended up letting me know, hey, homeboy, this ain't no playground. So I ended up going to Uncle Lester's. For y'all that live in Dalworth, Uncle Lester and Beaver. Uncle Lester was a retired Air Force dude. You could tell from his pictures, he used to be such a great, successful man. He still had a pretty nice house in the hood in Dalworth. He really did, and that was off of San Antonio. He had a nice house. Uncle Lester and his son name was Beaver, for y'all to remember them. So once D-Rock introduced me to crack, and we go to She Ice, he shows me where to buy it at. One thing that I was amazed at, there's two addicts when it comes to crack. I was obsessed with that crack. Not smoking it, never tried it, thank God. But you would cut up the crack and you would say, this will sell for 10, that might sell for 20, that. So I would look at the bag and I would say, off of this $50, I can make $210. I would set it down. I had it buried in my backyard so my mother wouldn't see it. I would dig it back up and look at it again and be like, no, I'm not gonna make $210 off this. I can make $260, because late night, if I wait, these could be 20s. I would put it back under the rocks in my backyard. I would pull it out again and see, I was like, no, I'll only make 230 off this. Set it down, and I was obsessed with how much I could make off of it. And I would keep picking it up, trying to figure out what I can make off of it. For those people that lived in Dalworth, I don't know if y'all remember Sambo. I still don't know to this day how he was doing it. Maybe he was stepping on it 2 or 3 times. But Sambo in Dalworth, if you couldn't make your way to Fort Worth, he had these ginormous dime rocks, ginormous, to where you could buy a $10 rock off him and go make $25 to $30 off of it, breaking it down, especially late night. So I did that for a little while, and after getting a gun pulled on me, and then after almost being raided at Uncle Lester's house, it just wasn't my thing, so I didn't stick with it. But I remember I was so surprised that the very neat-looking white college kids, professional black people, professional Hispanic people, professional-looking white people, on their way to work at big top-name companies, top fortune companies, some of them, buying crack cocaine. And it totally messed my head up. When back in the day when you would drive through Dalworth, I remember being offended. I'm a workout dude. I stop at a stop sign and people putting crack in my car. Like, bro, do I look like I smoke crack? I was offended until I started selling crack. That's when I realized not everybody that smoke crack is missing their teeth and dirty. Eventually they end up down the road. If anybody that's ever messed around with the dope game, there'll be a beautiful lady hit the block and she'll be tricking for that crack rock. And all the dealers, all the little hood cats know you better get her now because in a week or two, she gonna look like shit. I remember seeing it. Like, bro, that lady is beautiful. Like, damn, she's selling her body for crack. Yep. Dudes, the smart ones know you better get her right now. She'll do whatever for $20, but in a week or two, she ain't gonna be worth shit. I would watch this beautiful lady on Monday. By that Friday, probably wearing the same clothes she had on Monday. Now they're way more dingy. Within 5 to 10 days of her being in the hood, smoking crack, staying up all night, tricking her body, she would not even look like the same person within a week or two. It was mind-blowing. They were like zombies, big dark circles around their eyes, just out there chasing that money all day. The tenacity of a dope fiend. You would watch a person flat broke come up with $500 in a matter of hours, stealing meat out of grocery stores, selling baby clothes, selling jewelry, selling wedding rings, selling antiques. I remember being in Uncle Lester's house looking at his pictures and diplomas of all of his medals and all the stuff he had accomplished. And now he had a house full of dope fiends and a couple of dope dealers he didn't know from Adam and just a shell of himself, and still had a nice house and still had some nice stuff. And I was thinking, wow, if this man wasn't on crack, how great he could have been. He wouldn't have this house full of strangers. So, and I got to be honest, there was no eye-opening experience that made me stop selling dope. There was not I didn't have no, oh my God, she's pregnant, I don't want to sell. No, I did it for a little while and just realized, hey, it wasn't for me. And I just left it alone. And I'm thanking God I did, because I didn't know. One dude pulled a gun on me and ran me away from the crack spot. Other people had died trying to sell drugs and stuff like that. So I got out of it. Ray Hill, I see you. Ray Hill up there watching. Now, speaking of Ray Hill, that's Rachel's brother. I told y'all when Landry died that, her brother was Rachel and Ray. So I'm going to go to a story from the book of Slaughta. I'm going to jump around. D-Rock got me into selling dope and then went to the military. Was wrong for that. But anyway, I feel you. Hey, he was like, hey, you want to make some money? That's how you do it. Introduced me to the game and I got up out of it. Then ended up moving back to Oak Cliff. But let me tell y'all what led to me moving to Oak Cliff. I go out to this spot. I don't know if y'all remember Genesis and Rump Shaker back in the day. I'm with Gary Howard and Taurus Wilder. Taurus Wilder, rest in peace. We leaving Genesis right there off of Illinois. And as we're leaving the club, we drinking and, just drinking. We got a couple of guns in the car. And I remember as we're leaving, it's these two dudes walking across the street. And one of them just kind of gives me this look like, motherfucker, I wish you would. Like, he just kind of challenged me while he was walking across the street. He was giving me this dirty look. And I used to be very impulsive. Sometimes I would do shit and not even know why I did it. Sometimes I would react to something before I would even think about it. So this dude is walking across the street giving me this look like, just a dirty look. And I just mash on the gas and run the dude over. He jumps up on my windshield and his back hits the windshield and he rolls over my little Volkswagen Scirocco. We got the sunroof open. All this is true, just young and doing stupid shit. I hit the dude for a dirty look. My whole windshield is shattered because he jumps up and his back hit my windshield. Boom, he rolled over the car. God is my witness. Taurus Wilder, may he rest in peace. He's got a 9mm. He don't know why I hit the dude, but he noticed once the dude gets up from the ground, this dude is chasing my car. Tyrus starts shooting at the dude out of the sunroof. The dude, we don't see no gun or nothing. I done hit the dude, now Tyrus is shooting at him. The dude is still chasing my car after I done ran him over and after we done shot at him. I guess the dude was so pissed off, like he was already giving me a dirty look. But once I hit him, so Gary Howard is in the back seat. What up, Gary? And he is looking. Tyrus done emptied his gun. The dude is still running up to the car. We're getting ready to run into traffic. We noticed, we believe he was with these other guys who were shooting up in the air earlier. So we thinking, we pretty sure he got access to guns if he don't got a gun. Tyrus emptied his gun shooting at the dude I pretty much ran over for nothing. The dude is obviously not that injured. He running up to the car. Gary is sitting in the back seat in a state of fucking shock because there was no warning for what I did. Gary's sitting there with his mouth wide open, just looking shocked, like, we leaving out of the parking lot. They just called me Rodney. Rodney run over the dude. Tyrus Wilder, may he rest in peace, shooting at the dude out the sunroof. And Tyrus, I wish he was here because Gary's still, last time me and Gary had this conversation, Tyrus is telling Gary, bust, basically shoot your gun, shoot at the dude is still coming. And Gary is just looking at us like we speaking a foreign language. He's looking at me like, what did I miss? What did I miss? Like, you just ran this dude over and you shooting at this dude. Now you telling me to shoot at this dude. Gary's sitting there with the gun in his lap like he just woke up from he just looking at us. He's not saying nothing. He's not responding. He's looking back at the dude. So anyway, the dude alerts some of his partners who we know got guns. Reggie Turner, may you rest in peace. We are way in Oak Cliff, and we go to, instead of keeping straight, I could have got away for sure. I still want to kick it, as stupid as it sounds. So I want to go where the crowd is instead of keeping straight and making it to safety and blend back in. So I make that right on Illinois, and now I'm stuck in traffic. Can't go nowhere. I don't even know who was behind me. We way in Oak Cliff. I put the car in reverse. I hit somebody real hard. Boom. Me, Gary Howard, and Tyrus Wilder. We're on Illinois. We run out the car because we know they finna shoot the car up. Tyrus is literally dropping bullets trying to reload it because now we know for certain the dude that we hit is with those guys that were shooting in there, and he bringing them over there. So we thinking, okay, they finna shoot the car up. Gary's in a state of shock. He's not shooting his gun. Gary still don't know why I ran a dude over, why we're shooting at him in the first place. The person I backed up into and hit was my buddy from high school, Reggie Turner, may he rest in peace. We don't know who we hit. Now we done wrecked somebody's car. We take off running. When we come back, Reggie is still sitting there like, bro, that was me you hit. I'm like, you kidding me? He was like, the dudes didn't come shoot the car up or nothing. So at the time, I made a mistake last week and said Woodland City. I was living in Wood Hollow at the time of Landry's accident. At this time, I got a girlfriend in Pleasant Grove that does live in Woodland City. Run this dude over on a Friday night. I go out to Arlington, Pebble Creek Apartments, and kick it with my cousin and his girl for a while. I go back to Woodland City in Pleasant Grove. Barbara, forget her last name, she was there, and she had these messy ass chicks that used to live downstairs from her. So I go back to Woodland City, and I'm like, she like, boy, where you been? I was so worried about you. You went to Club Genesis last Friday night, and you disappeared. And I'm like, man, I ran this dude over, leaving the parking lot on some dumb shit, man. Tara shot at him and blah, blah, blah. I'm telling her this, right? I am exhausted. She's making some fried fish and some of that macaroni and cheese, the shell kind. I'm exhausted, just want to eat, lay down, watch a movie. I'm like, as soon as I tell her that I run over a dude at Genesis, she go downstairs to tell her messy ass neighbors that, remember I was worried about Rod because he didn't come home, or he didn't come back to my spot after going to Club Genesis. Man, he done ran over some dude and they done shot at him. This is karma, this is life. The dude that I ran over, he didn't know me, I didn't know him. We couldn't identify each other. We didn't get close enough. The girl is on the phone with the guy I ran over and that we shot at. I'm exhausted. I'm starving. I just want to eat and lay down. I don't know, she went downstairs. She come back upstairs. Oh, my God. I'm like, what? She was like, you're not going to believe this. I said, what? She said, I had been telling, I think their name was Nancy. I had been telling Nancy and them that I was worried about you because you didn't come back from Club Genesis Friday night. And I was giving them an update that you had ran over somebody and y'all had a shootout. She said she was on the phone with the guy that you ran over. She was telling me about it, but I didn't realize she was on the phone with him. The dude I ran over, the dude that Taurus Wilder shot at, was on, the girl downstairs was on the phone when Barbara came in telling her Rod ran over some dude Friday night at Club Genesis. Y'all don't know the odds of that. Coming really from Grand Prairie, going way to Pleasant Grove, driving way back out to Arlington, all in a matter of days, for the girl who I'm going to kick it with, for her downstairs neighbor to be on the phone with the dude I hit. Millions of people in this city, that's how crazy it was. I don't know if y'all following me, but her neighbor just happened to be on the phone with the dude. So the dude and his buddies are coming to shoot up her place. She's got a daughter. So I'm exhausted. I have to travel back to Arlington, Pebble Creek, just to spend a night. And then I moved to Dickinson, Texas, right outside of Houston and Galveston, because, you know, the place in Woodland City was now a green light on that house, and it was watching it to shoot me up. So I had to leave there after doing that. Then, which led me, once I moved back to Oak Cliff, that's when me and Ray linked back up. And Big Ray Hill, I will tell you this, I just seen him on the live chat. One night, me and Ray were at his aunt's house, Miss Gladys. We got many, many, many stories. The fight at Bachman Lake. But Ray can remember this. Miss Gladys, there was this big old, Ray's about 6'4". This other dude about 6'6", real dark-skinned dude. Ray can vouch for this. This dude was real, real obnoxious, extremely obnoxious. He was hitting on everybody's girl. He was even flirting with my partner, Ray girl. Just a big boy. We watching the Tyson fight. We drinking and shit. And this dude just all night long, he on 100. His girl right there being real quiet. She not saying nothing. He flirting with this chick hitting on my buddy girl. He's being obnoxious. His girl is sitting there, obviously uncomfortable, but not saying a word. And then finally, she just, after so much, you don't got no job. Everything you wearing, I bought. You live with me. I give you an allowance. You ain't got a car. She just, after hours of not saying nothing, she just put it out there, nigga, you ain't shit. He looks at her and he just hit her. Boom. Miss Gladys, Ray's aunt, she's there, his auntie, whatever. We jump up and she like, no, y'all chill out. She was like, y'all don't do nothing yet. She said, I'm gonna ask him to leave. She's holding me and Ray off the dude. This a big dude. So she told us to chill out. So in the midst of all of that, this dude pushed Miss Gladys. He pushed her. Well, when he pushed her, she literally said, you remember this, Ray? She said, get him, boys. And me and Ray ran up there. Ray and this dude is standing face to face. Like, say, Ray about 6'4", this dude about 6'6". They standing there. And I remember Ray kind of looking at him, you know, hey, I ain't putting you on blast. You know, you kind of looking a little nervous before you fight. Like, Ray kind of got that look like shit, you know, and I understand, you know, I always felt a little nervous. And I'm not saying it was scared, but they just stand and looking. I remember he was telling me, man, I was kind of thinking, man, this dude big. And I reached down there and I hit his ass. I'm serious. I reached back and I hit him. I had to reach up to hit him. I hit that dude so hard, I was like sprung my right elbow. And Ray can vouch for this. I hit that dude. My little ass is so short. He looking at Ray face to face. It's kind of dark out there. The dude don't even know. He said, who the fuck just hit me? I'm not even in this dude line of sight. This is no joke. I done hit this dude with everything I got, and he just replied, who the fuck just hit me? In a delayed reaction, about 7 seconds later, he tumbled like a tree, fell onto the car. He fell down. We beat him up a little bit more. End up taking giving this girl a ride. I end up sleeping with the chick the same night. After we save her, And then, like I say, young and dumb, like I say, we wasn't total heroes. She went to the bathroom, and then, like I say, just young and dumb, she left money and money orders in her pocket. I left her money orders but stole her cash. First, I was a good dude for being a hero, beating up her abusive boyfriend. Then been an asshole and stole her money. We was just young and dumb and drunk. But then we give the lady a ride back home. And Ray noted the girl come back out saying the dude done stole all of her stuff from her hiding spot. Ray want to go confront the dude at the door. And I'm like, bro, we at his crib now. Fighting him at your auntie's house was one thing. But now we at his residence. You know, that man can have a gun. And Ray's like, if I can get him to come outside, like if he come outside or off the porch, I'm not going to go to his house messing with him. The dude ended up, Ray lured him off the porch. God forgive me, boy. The man had it coming, I guess, karma. But man, we really, really, really beat the hell out that dude bad. I remember two things. Spraining my ankle, kicking him in his head so hard, and spraining my elbow, hitting him so hard. And like I said, I'm not proud of none of this, but it's like, this is just shit that we went through coming up. And we thought that that's how, it was fun to us. You know, you fight, you scrap, you do this and that. But at least nobody shot each other. Like, we beat the hell out of that dude, and I know he felt it, but we handled all that without guns. And now, given that same scenario in today's times, somebody probably would have died or got shot. But anyway, I don't want to tear too long. I just had to give y'all a little bit more about, you know, the book of Slaughta, of the things we seen, how we was raised, the things we made it out of. Just young and dumb and out there living life, man, not thinking twice. So anyway, I want y'all to have a blessed, productive week. Remember, right now, some of your kids are going through a little heyday. Some of our teenagers and adolescents, be patient with them. Help them navigate through these streets and all of this stuff, because remember, when you at that age, you really kind of doing what sounds cool. You want to look cool, and we was all there. And nothing is more important than a youngster to a youngster than what somebody think and their image and their perception. So I want y'all to remember that. And because we 50 or 48 or whatever, remember the stupid shit we was doing before you just completely write off a kid and not help them out because they going through their phase. You know, and don't worry, Big Ray, you know, we got a whole lot more to talk about, you know, as far as, you know, the book of Slaughta and all the shit we did and stuff like that. You know, when me and Ray had a problem with somebody, we would only do it if we had a problem with you. We would kick your door in and make you pay like that. We wouldn't always kick somebody's ass. Sometimes like, okay, that dude disrespected, cool. We would just kick his door in and just help ourselves to whatever. But anyway, that's all the time we have time for. I got to get to Metroflex and go make this money. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Slaughta POD, Book of Slaughta, Chapter 2. Next Thursday, y'all, Chapter 3, I will talk about how I became Crime Stoppers Most Wanted. My first and only time going to prison, thank you, God. And the valuable lessons I learned about the justice system, about the difference between being a thug and acting like a thug, the difference between being street and being seduced by the street life. Again, y'all have a blessed, productive day. And remember, Slaughta POD.